A racist flight attendant unjustly forced a black teenager to leave the plane, but after only 12 minutes, he turned the tables and received unexpected revenge. On a bustling afternoon at LaGuardia International Airport, 14-year-old Marcus Johnson nervously prepared for his first solo flight. He was headed to Chicago to compete in a prestigious national chess tournament, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that could secure him a full college scholarship. With the chessboard tucked under his arm and determination in his stride, Marcus boarded the plane, ready to showcase his skills. This journey marked a pivotal moment in his life, a chance to turn his talent into a brighter future. As he settled into his seat, unaware of the challenges ahead, Marcus remained focused on his goal, to win and make his dreams come true. As Marcus Johnson settled into his seat on the plane, he noticed the seat next to him was empty, a perfect spot to spread out his chess notes and study for the upcoming tournament. Hoping to make the most of the flight, Marcus politely called over a flight attendant, a stern-faced woman who had been eyeing him suspiciously since he boarded. "Excuse me," Marcus began with a calm tone. "May I sit here? I just need a bit more space to study." Instead of the understanding response he expected, the attendant glared at him coldly and replied, "That seat is not available for you," her voice sharp and unwelcoming. Taken aback by her harsh response, Marcus felt a wave of discomfort, but chose not to push the issue. He returned to his seat, trying to focus on his notes despite the growing tension. Moments later, as the plane prepared for takeoff, the flight attendant returned with an even colder expression. "You need to get off the plane," she said flatly, her tone devoid of emotion. Marcus froze in shock. "Get off?" he asked, confused and incredulous. "I didn't do anything wrong. I'm just sitting here waiting for the flight." "You're causing problems. We can't take off with you on board," she replied, raising her voice just enough to draw the attention of nearby passengers. All eyes turned to Marcus, and he felt his face flush with embarrassment. The stares and whispers only deepened his humiliation. "I don't understand," Marcus protested. "I haven't done anything." "I won't repeat myself," the attendant snapped. "Either leave voluntarily, or we will remove you." With no other option, Marcus gathered his belongings and walked off the plane, his heart pounding with anger and humiliation. He had been treated unfairly, targeted for reasons he couldn't comprehend. The humiliation of being forced off the plane in front of everyone felt unbearable, and as he sat in the terminal, he resolved that he couldn't let this injustice go unanswered. Marcus knew he had to take action not just for himself, but for anyone who had ever faced discrimination like this. Sitting alone in the terminal, Marcus Johnson refused to let the injustice he faced go unnoticed. Fueled by a mix of anger and determination, he pulled out his phone and took to Twitter, sharing a detailed account of how he was unfairly removed from the flight. Labeling the incident as blatant racism, he ended his post with a powerful hashtag, "Justice for Marcus." Within minutes, his story began to gain traction, with likes and retweets pouring in. Soon, "Justice for Marcus" was trending locally, amplifying his voice far beyond the terminal. As Marcus's story began to spread online, passengers still seated on the plane became aware of what had happened. Many started seeing Marcus's tweet and the growing hashtag "Justice for Marcus" on their phones. Confusion and whispers filled the cabin as people began to question why the teenager had been removed. Some passengers, outraged by the situation, started recording videos of the flight crew and sharing their perspectives on social media. "Was he kicked off? He didn't do anything wrong," one passenger wrote alongside a video of the empty seat Marcus had asked to use. The atmosphere on the plane quickly shifted, and the once composed flight attendant who had removed Marcus started to show signs of discomfort. Her stern demeanor faltered as questions from passengers grew louder. "This doesn't make sense," one person said aloud, voicing the sentiment spreading through the cabin. Others demanded an explanation, but the crew responded with vague statements about safety protocols, which only fueled the growing tension. Meanwhile, Marcus's tweet continued to gain traction, and the video shared by passengers added more evidence to his claims. Public scrutiny was mounting, and the flight attendant's unease was becoming impossible to hide. As Marcus Johnson sat in the terminal, his phone buzzing with notifications from his viral tweet, a representative from the airline hurriedly approached him. The man, dressed in a crisp uniform, wore a strained expression that betrayed the growing tension surrounding the incident. "Mr. Johnson, we sincerely apologize for what happened," he began, his tone attempting to sound calm and professional. "We are investigating the situation and want to make it right. Please allow us to rebook you on the next flight to Chicago, with all expenses fully covered." Marcus, still shaken but resolute, met the man's eyes with a calm yet firm response. "This isn't just about rebooking my flight," he said, his voice steady but full of conviction. "I was removed from that plane for no valid reason. This was an act of racism, and now the world knows it. An apology won't erase what happened." The representative faltered for a moment, clearly aware that Marcus's words carried weight, not just in the terminal but on social media, where the story was rapidly spreading. With the pressure mounting, the airline knew the issue wouldn't be dismissed so easily. Marcus Johnson's story gained explosive momentum when a celebrity with millions of followers retweeted his post, catapulting it into the national spotlight. As the hashtag Justice for Marcus trended across platforms, public outrage grew, and the airline faced mounting pressure to address the incident. In response, the airline issued a formal public apology, acknowledging the mishandling of the situation. They announced the suspension of the flight attendant pending an internal investigation, signaling their commitment to accountability amidst the growing backlash. When Marcus Johnson finally arrived in Chicago, he was greeted as a hero and a powerful symbol of resilience against racism. His bravery in standing up to injustice resonated with people nationwide. At the chess tournament, Marcus not only showcased his exceptional talent, but also earned widespread respect for his courage and determination. His journey became a story of triumph, both on and off the chessboard, inspiring others to fight for equality and never back down in the face of adversity. Reflecting on his journey, Marcus Johnson shared a profound lesson. The fight for justice isn't confined to a chessboard. It's a challenge we face in everyday life. Standing up against injustice requires courage and strategy, much like mastering the game he loves. His story became more than a personal triumph. It was a beacon of hope for those who feel silenced or overlooked. Marcus's experience reminded everyone that no matter how daunting the odds, a single voice can inspire change. His perseverance not only highlighted the importance of resilience, but also united people in the fight against inequality. If you're inspired by Marcus's story and want to hear more real-life tales of courage, justice, and transformation, hit the subscribe button and join us. Together, we can amplify voices that matter and continue the journey toward truth and equality. Don't miss out. Stay tuned.